I think one of the best ways to understand tiering of tasks and the notion that no matter the level of the task, right, no matter how open-ended the task is, no matter whether the task is very concrete or it's very abstract, that all students are moving towards the same targets can be challenging when you go to put it in practice. It may make sense in theory, but I think that looking at practical examples, even from areas that are not your discipline, can help make sense. So I want you to take a look at these 3 levels from a world language course. And it could be, it's French, but it could be any world language. So take a look at this first world language cube. And cubing is just a method where you see, like, down at the bottom, the actual physical cube, and every cube has a different side to it. Now I want you to notice, first of all, we've got describe it, compare it, associate it, analyze it, apply it, argue for or against it. So the levels of thinking, I want you to look for that across the cubes. Then I want to look at the degree to which something is concrete versus something is abstract, and the level of scaffolding or supports that are built in. So take a look at this set of tasks that would be placed on a cube. So take a look, if you would, at compare it. It says choose another object, because in describe it, we've pulled an object. Compare one object to the other, follow the example given, and then there is an example that's given. In the last one, argue for or against it, tell why you should be allowed to keep this object, follow the examples given. Let's take a look at cube B. It might be given in the same classroom, simply to a different group of students. Now take a look. Describe it, compare it, associate it, analyze it, apply it, argue for and against it. Really the same set of prompts, but notice what's different. Choosing an object from the box, at least 5 adjectives to describe the object. No examples, no guide. Compare it, choose another object from the box, compare one object to the other, but notice we're not given a format to follow or an example. In argue for or against it, it's also a little different. Tell why you should be allowed to keep this object. Again, no guidance. It's more open-ended, a little bit fuzzier, more for students to decide. So obviously, the students that get this cube need the guidance, need the support or the scaffolding, and need the tight parameters. This group doesn't need all of that support. Take a look, because I may have another group that needs this cube. Look what happens. You choose an object, describe the object in as much detail as possible. Look at number 2, compare the object to yourself or to a famous person. So this makes it much more abstract, and keep in mind they're doing this within the target language. Notice argue for or against it. Convince your audience that this object must continue to exist. So far more abstract than cube B, and definitely far more abstract than the first cube, cube A. Take a few minutes to go back through the levels and look at the specific ways in which the designer of this set of tiered assignments creates levels, all built moving towards the same set of targets, and that is vocabulary development.